Love to see it.
All right, before we go ahead and get started, I want to remind you guys what a roast is. Okay? We are going to make fun of somebody, and it's going to be very mean. We're not necessarily going to pull punches, and it's going to get very nasty.
We're gonna say the fuck word a lot.
Yeah, we're gonna say the fuck word quite a bit. And if you didn't know that, you should go. Just saying.
If there's a child in the room,
If you're like,
so
Strahd is my favorite villain, I can't wait for these guys to uplift him, you know? This is not the panel for you. But if you guys understand what it is, it will be mean, it will be dirty, it will not be problematic. And there's a line there, and we're gonna try to skirt it. All right.
Yeah, Dandelion, we're done.
All right. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? Thank you for joining us tonight. You guys all having a good MAGFest? Fantastic. You could have picked anywhere to be on Saturday night at MAGFest, but you decided to come to this shit show, so good on you. You know? Round of applause. Alright, so my name is Derek. I'm the head of the Board of Tourism of Bard City, and I will be your roast master tonight. We have. Oh, can we turn the volume? Who's the person running this round? It's us. We're the problem. It's me. Alright, just get that a little bit.
Still pushing buttons.
Give that a little bit of Hey! There we go. That's a little bit better. Perfect. We are so smart. Alright. So we are here tonight to celebrate an unliving legend. This man has been bringing fear and loathing at tabletops and across the world for almost 50 years. Immortalized in modules, comics, novels, very few characters can claim more clout, more prestige, and more player character deaths. Once you enter his domain, be wary. He has spies everywhere you go. He'll see whatever you do, hear whatever you say. In fact, the only thing he won't hear in his kingdom is the words, "I'm proud of you, son, come give me a hug." Everybody, I would love to introduce you to Count Strahd von Savage! He's loving this, yeah.
How are you gonna be ageless and still have straight hair?
Alright, Strahd, you know what? Honestly, God, thank you for coming out. You look great, by the way, especially for your age. Like, it's kind of like this sort of, like, I don't know, Spirit Halloween Nosferatu. Like, it's one of those things where it looks like you are, like, you know, not trying that hard. Like, oh, I just got out of bed like this, but you're really trying really hard. I really like it. No, it's intentional. It's a good look. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, and that's one of your most recent brides or thralls or. That's good. Yes, good. Yeah. All right. So here's the deal. Don't let his appearance fool you. This guy right here has a he's got if you're unfamiliar, he has a peculiar relationship with a nice Barovian girl named Tatiana. He met his crush in the usual way. Storming your brother's wedding with an army, killing your brother, and then demanding the bride marry you instead. And Tatiana is a reasonable girl, so she responded in a reasonable way, which was immediately throwing herself off a bridge. You know, just real meet cute there. And yeah, I kind of get it. I've been in the room with you for like 10 minutes, and I'm thinking about doing the exact same thing. Well, Well, thanks to some dark Barovian magic, she gets stuck in a cycle of death and rebirth. So every time she turns 25, she dies, gets reborn, and Strahd has to start his search all over again for her. You see, where I'm from, a love interest disappearing at 25 isn't dark Barovian magic. It's just called dating Leonardo DiCaprio. Also, let's be real. This guy ain't exactly waiting 18 years to get going again. It's just like, actually, she's the 500-year-old spirit of my soon-to-be wife in a 14-year-old's body, so it's fine. Yeah, I mean, why don't you have a seat over here, you know? God, I'm so fucking washed. I'm using a fucking catch a predator joke in the year of our Lord 2025. Like, it's like... You know, Strahd, let's talk about the elephant in the room. You know, you've been at the top of your game for decades now, but Father Time remains undefeated. You know, I think both of us might be past our prime. I'm starting to get a few gray hairs. You got converted to 5th edition. I'm just saying, we all lose a step, okay? Like, it happens. But like, cheer up, because like, I imagine when they drag your corpse out for the 2024 rewrite, folks will be able to defeat you with a therapist and half a bottle of Pinot Grigio. But you're not there yet! So like, chin up. Like, you still got some moves. Alright, yeah, I might be a touch harsh right now, but I feel like you can take it. Because like, really, you got it all. You got the castle, you got the gold, you got the wealth, you got the brides, you got the fashion. Like, you got +4 or 5 on pretty much every attribute except for wisdom, which we could unpack. But we do not have time. And I would say that, Strahd is but look, I'm just a bard. I have a baritone ukulele, the clothes on my back, some gold in my pocket, and like, you know, a wife and kid that actually love me. But yeah, no, come on. All right, Strahd and I go way back. When I got the letter to come to his castle to be the MC for his roast, I was honestly thrilled. I've been to a lot of places, met a lot of folks in the Forgotten Realms, and you know, I can say truly that I've never quite had a friend like Strahd. I still don't, because we're not friends. But if we were, I would say that Strahd is a special character who deserves all of the accolades that have come his way. Strahd, you've got a long and storied career. And I can't wait to light that shit on fire in front of you and watch it turn to ash. And with that, I would like to introduce you to the first roaster of the evening, as I've remained. All right, it's Mayor Franciel!
404 years!
From far away from the eastern woods is an elf that requires no introduction. The mayor who has won the last 100 elections of Bard City, all against his will. He is a public servant who can learn a thing or two about quiet quitting. Like, please, we know you hate your job, can you please be quiet about it? He's agile, he's dexterous, his passive perception is through the roof. What do your elf eyes see? I'll tell you what they don't see. The inside of his ex-girlfriend's bedroom, unless he's sitting in the corner with a camera. Mayor Franciel, everybody!
Thank you all for coming. It's great to see everyone here. You may have noticed that one of us is conspicuously missing, our own CEO, Winters. I know, very sad. We missed his flamboyant fancy coat. He's probably somewhere on a catwalk, being pretty instead of actually showing up and doing work. Maybe he thought his coat would do all the talking for him. We of course have our treasurer Onion here. Now, until I met Onion, I never knew anyone who had gotten addicted to candy cigarettes. Some of you might not know that Onion the Bard is named after the only root vegetable he shares an IQ with. Unfortunately, for this roast, we could not get his cousin Garlic to join us. Thank you. Garlic is nice. She's very nice. Varric, thank you for the introduction. Our lead singer. He definitely has a lead singer ego, if you know him. He needs that big head to support all of the feathers in his hat. Plus, with your fancy purple pants, as long as you're getting all the attention, right? It's all about you. More like bardic desperation. What die is that? Is that a D0? It reminds me of a certain coat-wearing guitar player. While we're catching strays, you may have noticed we got our intern Addie here today. We found him on the street outside. Now Aoife's here, of course. For some of you, this may be your first time seeing Aoife. That's because she's not behind an accordion right now. For a little background, Aoife is our Bard Law jurisconsult with binders to keep track of lies she's told to past potential lovers. Unfortunately, the only hung things she's seen recently are her past 5 court cases. Aoife, a hung jury is not a good thing.
Speak for yourself.
Of course, we have a special guest coach with us here from Whose Role Is It Anyway? We were lucky to catch their panel this weekend. Typically for his shows, he wears a jumpsuit, all right, when you DM, because in a world of knights and wizards, you chose to be a janitor. You specialize in mopping the floor with goblins or your party's morale. You run your campaigns like you would use a mop, going in circles and leaving us all frustrated and wet.
Correct.
We have a second special guest, Horatius the Dwarf. YouTuber and streamer. Thank you for joining us. Aren't you a little bit tall to be a dwarf? You're like Will Ferrell from Elf, except your movie would be about an ale-guzzling alcoholic with a pickaxe.
Ale's expensive.
Horatius, your dad is not at the bottom of that mug. Horatius, it's great to see you. When we invited you to join a roast, I'm glad you made it here instead of Khazar-dûm. You had a Balrog problem. Now Strahd, the man of the hour of the evening. I hear you did a lot of conquering and you were a great warlord back in the day. About 800 years ago. Have you been busy since? You've been practicing your dramatic cape flourish this whole time, and Tatiana still doesn't care. You've been pining for her throughout multiple mortal lifetimes, excuse me, nearly a millennia. Now, as an elf, I've probably spent the same amount of time hugging trees, and had more success. She's just not that into you. Some say guys are bad at picking up on hints, but my guy, to get away from you, she jumped out a window. How the hell do you have generational wealth and can't afford to pay attention? And I know you're into her soul. You know who else they say soul bonded? Jacob from Twilight and Renesmee, the literal fucking baby. And say what you will about Twilight, at least Edward would respect the word no. It's like you made 0 effort and then ran out of ideas. How about some therapy, drink some water, and update your wardrobe? We have something that's going to blow your mind. It's called athleisure. It's very comfortable. If you're going to sit in your castle and brood for centuries, you may as well be comfortable. And it's not like you have anyone to try to impress. It's pretty messed up, trapping everyone in dingy Barovia with you. You have all that power, and you use it to make sure that if you can't touch grass, no one else can. And look, no one is more introverted than me, but you've spent so much time inside that sunlight burns you. And Neutrogena won't reach out for a sunscreen deal? That's crazy. You're so problematic, you couldn't get an interview with Joe Rogan. You have more hard edges than a Cybertruck. Strahd, if you have all these wonderful supernatural powers, why is it you who keeps getting ghosted? Strahd, you are so aloof, your reflection doesn't have time for you. You're so cold, even Elsa will tell you to let it go. You're so lame that Van Helsing stopped following you. So starved for attention, you trap souls in Barovia just so that they have to keep listening to your monologues. You're so simple that when you heard TikTok was banned, you stopped all the grandfather clocks in your castle. You're so naive. You took it to heart when Tatiana said, "You suck." Strahd, you're so out of touch. You think going viral means you caught the plague. Strahd, you are so fucking dumb. When someone said you need to do some self-reflection, you locked all your mirrors in a closet. I'm just kidding, I love you, man.
Give it up for everybody.
All right, our next guest is honestly an inspiration to us all. He has trailblazed to depths of degeneracy that folks didn't think was theoretically possible. He's the only one I know who has learned to cook ramen noodles over a trash can fire. He's the only one I know who has chased a shot of Everclear with a lit cigarette. The master of side quests, the lord of the gutter, Atticus, the chief executive intern of Bard City.
Well done. It's good to be here. I'm usually, getting the coffee for everyone, but it feels good to be invited and I actually attend something. Feels good. But if anyone is looking for an intern, I do offer intern and goon services. I am a certified gooner. So.
He's good.
Still doing it right now. But no, this is great. It's kind of hard to follow up for Incio. That was hilarious. That was great. Your ears look store-bought though. Get back. Boom. Onion. You're an easy word. Figure your body out. Horatius, it's good to see you out on stream. We know the beard's fake. It's fine. You can take it off. It's fine. Aoife, I'm worried that you'll beat me up after this if I say anything mean to you, so no notes. No notes. Eric, I don't know what you did to get bunched up with us, but figure it out. Wrong direction, bud. And Pat, we know you do more than just wear that hat. We know you. Yeah. Anyway, let's start talking about this handsome undead devil over here. As some of you may know, I used to intern for Strahd. It's good to see you again. He's a thirsty bitch. He does only think about himself. The first vampire, the Lord of Ravenloft, Mr. Not Steal Your Girlfriend. Strahd, I can see your roots. Honestly, all those blood treatments aren't addressing the roots of your problems. Speaking of problems, being an intern for Strahd, you get to see, like, you know, a true nature of a person. Strahd's not a bro. Okay? He's all about chasing the huzz and not thinking about his bros. He may be the lord of Baravia, but not Bro-ravia. You kill your own brother over a woman, man, who'd rather fling herself off a roof or off a cliff. Sorry, take the hint, bro. Like, Strahd, you fucking suck. Like, leaving the bras in the muck, blowies over homies, rather no blowies. Forgetting your crew, man. I know, like, I'm just an intern, but you've never tried to suck my blood once. Like, I do have some worth, okay? Like, my blood is just as good as anybody else's here. Speaking of real bros, Brosive Alec Grillum, right? You know him. He's looking out for you. He's telling you about all these assassins, but you're trying to play grab ass, man. You weren't a true bro. You're fucking sweaty. Take a shower. You need some sun. Killing your own brother for immortality? Just jealous of his broism, man. You think your wisdom stat modifier would help you realize that. But Strahd, I know you don't fear anything except crippling loneliness and not being the best looking in the room, but sorry to break it, Strahd. Sorry to break it, Poseidon, but just look at all these beautiful people out here. You fucking suck, man. Why didn't you want to be my beer pong partner? Like, I'm not that bad, okay? Like, we played plenty of times, and I showed you a really cool shot, but you still didn't want to do it. Not very fucking bro-y. Like, I've been there since day one. You look like you lock in DPS Strahd when the team needs a healer and they complain that you're dying. You look like you would be mean to Jeff the Land Shark, and shame on you. It's just, he's got toe beams. Also, this is not really a roast, because you look like you love Pat Benatar, right? Like, she's great. Like, I think you take your lyrics too much to heart there. Like, love is a battlefield, and you do conquer on the battlefield. We know that you have the stats to prove it. But your KDA makes me wish that you actually did roll healer. Like, fucking suck. But you know who would roll healer and doesn't have any issue with that? Someone you know really deeply. Sergey von Brovich.
All right, that's it.
Much.
All right. So yeah, be a bro. All right, next person out. Strahd, we've got a special guest for you tonight. A VTuber has crawled out of his mountain home to meet us in the meat space. He's charming, handsome, suspiciously tall. He has a wonderful attention to detail. His VTuber model has jiggle physics in its beard, and his man titties, and honestly, impressive. I like that. Give it up. Give it up for Horatius the Dwarf.
Yeah, I'm good, I'm good. The fact that you can't tell says a lot. Actually, it doesn't. That's the least surprising thing I've ever known you to be confused about. I can see his arm. The spelling mistake you guys are going to learn about later is hilarious. Don't worry about it. You're doing great. So, obviously, in a roast, you want to talk about everybody that's here. But I don't like wasting my breath on elves very much.
Fair, very fair.
No, listen. Long-lived, devilishly handsome. I mean, but worth note? I don't think so. Speaking of those who walk in the forest, we have Aoife, of course. Great musician, longtime friend of mine. And despite over a decade of knowing Aoife, this is going to be the longest period of time I'm going to hear Aoife speak in a row in that whole experience. It's going to be impressive. You're going to kill it. Onion, you know what? I started off by clapping back at you, and I apologize because you're just such a good lad. Obviously we have the intern of all interns, the jack of nothing, but he tries really, really well. And I can't forget our roast master. I'm genuinely, if you guys aren't ready for it, Dan Dillion's stunt double for season 3 of The Witcher is gonna be great. I'm excited for you. That's a glow up.
It's a big role for me. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, we needed to talk about the undead in the room. There's a lot that I could, take cheap shots. I could point to the fact that your palate is hell. Like, geez, man, get it together. There's cream for that. But no, I'm a dwarf first and foremost. Let's not pretend. There's something that we need to discuss. The stonework in your castle is shit. A lot of people get invited to this man's abode, and for what you may see from the outside, it's glorious, impressive, dare say, intimidating. But if you look at the foundation, that's gonna fall apart, man. You should always not outlive your house, and I know that that's difficult for you being undead and all. Put it a little effort. Just try. That said, you're probably not the biggest fan of this upcoming suggestion, Strahd, but hear me out. I can tell that you're not the biggest fan of unions. But if maybe you look to your local stonemasons, maybe they could amp that shit up a little bit. So, I've known many of people to tell a horrible tale of the House of Pain. Many alive have lost. I've seen it. It's really kind of closer to House of Lame. Listen, I love an animated armor as much as the next dwarf craftsman. They're weak, dude. Like, amp that magic up. I know you have it. I've seen you use it yourself. Give that shit to your underlings, dude. It's worth it. You need to trust your own org chart. So, also, as it's been said a couple of times, I fancy a drink. Shocker, dwarf joke, drinker? Look at them thinking a little bit. But, Strahd, your wine is weak, dude. I love iron. Have your jokes. But the irony taste in your wine is a little gross. Like, I get that for you it's probably great, but you don't go outside, so I don't think you have any worldliness in your flavor palette. And as a professional fat man, let me tell you, there's some great food out there. It's worth traveling if you're up to it. There's one last thing that I want to say to Strahd von Yuzevich. And that's, we want to appreciate, Strahd, would you indulge me a moment? Would you stand up and give us a twirl? I forgot, I'm sitting with the bards who care about performance, and this is not one of them. My point was going to be, what? Oh, yeah. Listen, I'm a streamer. This is normal. Who doesn't love a little stuff? So, no, but for real, let me close on this, Strahd. I really thought after I was going to be able to come to this that you were going to do a little bit more shopping than just going to your local seasonal Halloween mart and just say, whatever. So, audience. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. Thanks for supporting my friends. I'm very proud of these young idiots. And you know what? That's it. Strahd, you're a real son of a bitch.
I am kind of upset with myself that I didn't use the bitch Pontra Starovitz.
It's right there.
It's right there, and I can't believe I didn't think of it. All right, so our next guest is a person who promises that his legs are the same length. You think that would be assumed, but you would be. But this guy, he's built different. Literally, he's very literally built different. He's Strahd. It's not every day you get to get roasted by a treasurer with knees that don't line up, who is suspiciously rich and is suspiciously aware of the exact angle of the hips for whatever reason. I introduce you, the Eldritch Horror disguised as a person who watches too much hentai. Give it up for Onion! Yeah!
I'm confused. You know what? Don't worry about it. Everyone, it's great to be here tonight. As our wonderful MC said, my name is Onion. Oh yeah, no, clap, please. You guys, I am the treasurer of Bard City, and besides handling the city's money, it is also my job to make sure that everyone gets paid, which is probably why none of us have been paid. Some people say that's because of all the statues of Mayor Franciel. Others think it has something to do with the champagne fountains. I don't think there's any evidence to support that. But enough about me, on to the city council and our lovely guests. Big thanks to our MC, Varric, our head of the Board of Tourism, and without him, the city would be in ruin. More ruin. He brings in more visitors than anyone in the city. He's got the deepest V in the city council. And for reference, that's how we decided who was going to be the lead singer. He's got a great stage presence and a beautiful voice. He even took voice lessons, and just to be as good as he could be, and that's great. Aoife, our jurisconsult, is here. It's always great to see her, of course, when she's not scolding me for making ethically questionable decisions with the city's money. She's the smartest person in the city, and incredibly well-versed in bard law. Whenever I have questions about if my thoughts on how to improve the city are legal or not, she always makes time to help. She's also got the best riz with the city's monster girl population, and despite getting regularly rejected, always bounces right back. Such resilience. Our intern, Addie, made it tonight. We made him the chief executive intern because there was no one better for the job, and like most interns, was totally fine not getting paid.
No, I didn't say that.
No. Even though he usually forgets to bring coffee, he does always remember all of our orders, which is impressive. He's also in charge of the sewers and does a great job keeping the monsters down there under control. It's probably because most of them are attracted to dudes in beanies, which he's not wearing tonight, but he does have the most impressive beanie collection in the entire city. Mayor Franciel, it's so great that you graced us with your presence tonight. He really is the best mayor the city has ever had. He has the most beautiful hair in the entire city, and he always finds a way to put up more statues of himself. I really enjoy looking at those statues, by the way. He's very handsome. No, I'm good. No, it's my mic. Go away. Stop it. It's my mic. I don't know what we do without him, and when he's not in the basement of City Hall doing God knows what, he's sacrificing, struggling, and doing everything in his power to make the city better. Now, I don't know where Winters is. He's probably very busy being handsome somewhere. Doing work to benefit the city, of course. He's always working and definitely never shrugging responsibility, and that's why he's our CEO. Horatius the Dwarf, for our first special guest. We are super lucky to be joined by him. He's an accomplished VTuber who's been streaming for 4 years now and has over 5,000 followers. Definitely give him a follow if you're on Twitch. And like any good dwarf, he has a glorious beard and is wise beyond his years. Our second special guest is none other than Posh, of Whose Role Is It Anyway? Eric is the wonderful DM for the podcast. He brings an incredible energy. And if you haven't seen their show, please do. It's awesome. Let's see. Especially when he chooses, yeah, I've lost my place, excuse me, I can't read. It's also great when he chooses your suggestions. That's my favorite part. And finally, to our guest of honor, Strahd von Zarovich. I only just met Strahd today, but I gotta say, he is the real deal. He's already invited everyone to a fancy dinner, and his upcoming wedding, really nice. Great. Not to mention, he has his own castle. He's incredibly loyal and willing to do anything for the woman he loves. He's even willing to give everyone super strength and immortality, which I gotta say is pretty cool. He's handsome, generous, and I feel lucky just to know him. So with that, let's all raise our glasses to this, the toast of Strahd.
Roast? What the fuck, bro? You're Christ!
Is that why everyone was being so fucking mean? I didn't understand. No. Oh shit! Here's the MC, guys.
That was nice. Kind of missing the fucking point.
I hate this.
Yeah, that's good. Wait a minute. We could play a game. Who here was here last year at the Smasher Bass panel? There's a handful. It's weird. Does anyone see us at Gen Con do the same thing? Okay, great. All right, stay right there.
Oh, okay.
We are going to play. Spot the Minute!
I love this game.
So Onion has a kind of a barely disguised fetish. Yeah, good. For mimics, but he has a little less good of a track record. Now, I want to say, the last time we did this, none of them were mimics. And the second time we did
you said
it,
none of them?
yeah, the second time we did this, none of them were mimics. Onion, I promise you, this time will be different. Shall we play?
I love games. Let's do it.
All right. So, with that, what do you think about that chest?
Oh, whoa, my goodness, that's a chest. All right. Yeah, I mean, if I'm turned on to it, it's gotta be
Yes,
a mimic.
100%,
right?
yes.
You know what? I think that's definitely a mimic.
Okay, yeah, right on. All right, so what about Grandpa's weird bed from Stardew Valley?
Is that a video
Yes.
game?
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to fuck it?
It does. Whoa! I gotta take it slow. It does have 4 legs, which I am into. But we're not playing whether or not I'm attracted to these things. It is whether or not it's a mimic. It's clearly a bed.
Yeah, okay, all right.
it's not a mimic.
What about the lamp?
Oh, mimic. I love that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
definitely.
So that sweet ass gamer chair?
That one is tough. The color scheme on it does look a little off. That one's tough. Undecided. I'm not sure. I cannot make a decision. It might be. I'm not really attracted to it, so I'll probably just stay away from it just to be safe.
Okay, cool. All right, so what about that bar stool?
Where'd you get that picture of my girlfriend? Where did you get it?
That is
That's a private photo, and you shouldn't have it.
Listen, I have my ways. All right, so 6, so...
Yeah, that's...
All right, what about that dresser?
I'll tell you after.
All right, cool. So we have the chest, the lamp, the bar stool, and maybe the dresser.
It's an armoire.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Strahd, I gave you a spell scroll earlier. It's underneath your chair. If you want to reveal now, the answer key is this. If it is a check mark, it is safe, and if it's a skull, it is a deadly mimic. Do you wish to reveal the answer? Yeah. Okay. None of them are mimics! When I said it was going to be different, I lied, Onion, I lied! Anyway, give it up for Onion. Listen, don't worry about being like a couch fighter. That's like vice presidential these days. All right, so our next guest, it's kind of hard to be rude about our next guest, who happens to be the accordion player of Bard City. I don't have many jokes, but I do have one important thing to say. Aoife, for the love of God, please leave Weird Al alone. He's not gonna call you back. The man has blocked you on Instagram, on Twitter, and somehow on Venmo. Learn how to take a hint. Everybody give it up for Aoife, the Joe's Council of Bard City.
Al's secondary line? Please talk to me after the show.
Talk to Molly.
Okay, cool. All right, my name is Aoife, and I am the Juris Consult of Bard City. Thank you, I like that. Running the entire legal system of Bard City is a full-time job. Pretending to do said job is almost as exhausting as having a conversation with a vampiric man baby who revels in the drama he's created for himself. Strahd has a tragic backstory. I'm a 300-year-old elf working in public service that gets ghosted after the first date almost every time in a city full of bards. That being said, as Juris Consult, I usually charge by the hour. But I will happily make an exception for the opportunity to tear Strahd down. Let's get warmed up. All right. Hello, fellow Bard City Council members. And friends. I hope that, like Strahd, you're grateful for me giving you the time of day. Let's start with Winters, who we've all noticed is conspicuously absent. No idea where he is. I'm guessing he checked his coat and now he's indistinguishable from any other dude in this crowd. Varric. I have very little faith that you'd be capable of sharing the spotlight. And by the way, yes, if you don't know who I am, it's because I live behind Varric's cloak for every show that we do. And I am proud of you. Yeah. Onion.
I'm not here.
Onion.
Hi, Kate.
I don't know why they're all afraid of me. I'm perfect. I'm fine. Onion, I would roast you, but I know you're counting your lucky stars that we got accepted back for another panel at MAGFest, and I don't want you to lose your place. Oh, Addie, I didn't write any jokes for you. I totally forgot we had an intern. I got you a rain check. Oh, Francielle, you signed up for this roast so quickly. You probably thought it was because we weren't going to bully you. We were going to bully somebody else for a change. That being said, you and Strahd have a lot in common. When I heard we were roasting a man who couldn't get over his ex, I initially thought we'd be roasting you, so that's why I'm here. Poach. DM, podcast host, general man about town in the nerd scene. I'm glad you decided to invest in yourself by joining a panel of C-list, overly local, overly niche nerd celebrities to boost your resume a bit. I'll happily write a letter of recommendation anytime.
Don't feed his fucking
And now for the dwarf. Horatius.
Hi.
Hi, honey. I'm no Galadriel. Dwarves are fine. But I'm just not sure that you specifically reach the level of friend of the elves. If you want the 3 hairs, you're gonna have to pick them out of my hairbrush.
Not the worst deal. Not the worst deal.
But you can tell them. You can tell your friends they're mine. He needs more cred.
Fucking sweet.
God, you're about to get 4 minutes of my undivided attention, which I can safely assume is more than you've gotten from a willing woman in centuries. I know that you're not really into respecting a woman's right to choose. So I have some choice words for you. Let's begin. This whole thing with Irina is that she reminds you of Tatiana, right? But yeah, that's right. As in she has a pulse and isn't attracted to you? Your big plan is to trap her by turning her because that's worked before, right?
Yeah, the mic doesn't even want to hear you.
Yes, officer, that's...
My perception is shit. All right. Yeah. Now I have to read. Goddamn.
That was my attempt at being mean. Did I do good?
We'll talk about this later, Onion.
You're fucked.
You have Strahd. Let's get back to Strahd. Onion will be here for a while. You have 3 wives and still can't get enough. Or is it that you can't get any? For the sake of argument, let's say it's the latter. For the sake of argument. You need to coerce another woman into marrying. Oh my God. You need to coerce another woman into marrying you to get laid. You're rich. You're entitled. I can't make fun of your looks, Strahd. And yet, women will crawl into bed with an anemic peasant down the hill before they'll agree to have dinner with you. You have all of Baravia terrified that you will flirt with them next. For someone so desperate for company, you make it really fucking obnoxious to get to you. Invite me to dinner and make me climb up a sheer mountain, dodging bats and toxic masculinity the whole way. Your brother would have sent a carriage. Yeah, we wish. Are you getting a redemption arc in the 2024 rewrite? A single redeeming quality aside from being someone we can pity? You're immortal and there still isn't enough time to rehab your decrepit personality. My dude, you are so broken that women don't want to try to fix you. Yo, by the way, and I'm gonna get meta here for a second, I hope that's okay. Your origin story was written by a husband and wife team. Your sad, lonely existence is a horror story to those who have what you want. Okay, and I know I'm not qualified to diagnose you, but you named your castle after your mom, huh?
We got him.
I'm not done. I'd say at least she didn't go full Norman Bates on the situation. She is buried in the basement. She's not out and about. But you're seeing her in the clouds. Yeah, dude. I'd rather you dressed up like your mom and come take a shower with me. We could role play that you're a sympathetic villain. And look, I know that your brother being sexy, sensitive, lovable, likable, warm. Did I say sexy? It has to hurt when you're you. But killing him doesn't make you him. You'll never be him. And I would make a joke about dominating a town you named after your father, but again, that writes itself. Your trauma is valid. Talk to Horatius about it. It doesn't make your actions acceptable or attractive. You know who else has trauma? Count Orlok. He doesn't even need to be a Skarsgård for me to want to suck the soul out of him. Daddy Dracula from Castlevania is neck deep in multiple layers of trauma, and I climb him like a tree. Lestat, Blade, any of the vampire hicks from 30 Days of Night. I would fuck any of them before coming to Barovia out of my free will to have coffee with you. To wrap things up, maybe you think only coming out after dark makes you intimidating and mysterious? And like your wives, I hope you be more tolerable with the lights off. But that's not the case, so let's call it a night. Anyway, I'm Aoife, and that's it for me.
Can I just, in front of all of these people, Aoife, I'm so sorry, please don't get mad at me.
Your ass is scared.
You can be sorry for a little longer.
Give it up for Aoife for making Strahd our character. All right, so we've got one more guest before Strahd gets a chance to, fire back. So I don't Don't be funnier than us. This is our job, isn't it? Alright, so I don't want to say anything too mean about the new guy, because he kind of runs MAGFest. And I kind of want to come back, so...
Go fuck yourself, Eric. You're a lazy-ass fucking DM who has the audience do all the work for you. Plan your own campaign.
Eric, everybody.
It's called delegation. It's a really good skill.
Putting the badge on the table. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here to mince words. I stand before you today not as some mid-tier tabletop comedian whose only relevance to the cultural zeitgeist hinges on a toxic parasocial symbiosis between myself and a convention full of degenerate gamers. You know, like the rest of these assholes. Nor do I even stand before you as someone who gives a solitary fuck about Ravenloft, a campaign setting which can best be described as the hot topic of the Forgotten Realms. Except it doesn't even have the redeeming quality of trip pants, and there's significantly more middle-aged white dudes with boundary issues. So basically, it's like the Maryland Renaissance Festival if it were designed by Tim Burton and directed by Rob Zombie. But I digress. No, friends, I stand before you here today as a man who wrote this at 5 in the morning with a hangover that can only be described as haunting. And I come with one simple message. Strahd is a bitch-made Dracula. Allow me to rip this Band-Aid off right now. If you have ever played Curse of Strahd and your party actually managed to beat Strahd, no, you didn't. You didn't beat shit. What you experienced was your DM feeling sorry for your punk ass to the point that they were forced to suddenly ignore Strahd von Fuckface's absurd stat block and allow you to actually harm him. Otherwise, we just spent the past 6 months playing this dumb fucking sad boy campaign for nothing. And this is the core of my argument as to why Strahd is a bitch-made Dracula. Have you seen this motherfucker's stat block? This shit reads like the revenge porn fanfiction of the kid on the playground who couldn't just play pretend like the rest of us and always had some bullshit Deus Ex reason as to why he couldn't be killed when we were reenacting scenes from Dragon Ball Z on the monkey bars. Fuck you, Dylan, you piece of shit! Anywho. This pansy has so many contingencies and random-ass protections that any DM who plays Strahd with a modicum of intelligence will never lose. Strahd has weaknesses the way Edward Cullen is hideous in the sunlight. Now, Edward Cullen, that's a Dracula. Is he lame? Yes. Is he poorly written? Also, yes. But does the motherfucker stay dead if you rip his bedazzled fucking head off? Yes! Edward Cullen, shitty person, great Dracula. Do you see what I'm getting at? Like, do you fucks with what I'm laying down? A good Dracula has actual weaknesses. The bad guys from 30 Days of Night, scene. Literally had to sail to the shittiest, coldest part of the world in a ship that probably jammed up the Suez Canal just so they could put that good suck on some drunk-ass Alaskans. That's a good Dracula. Meanwhile, cunt Chocula over here. Just materialize the mists of the Shadowfell and go wherever the fuck he wants, whenever he wants. Doesn't matter if it's day or night because he's got his magical sad boy mist to protect him. The same sad boy mist that he turns into instantly the second you ever think about damaging him. Other Draculas can turn into mist.
Dracula comes to mind. Now that's a Dracula's Dracula. He could turn into mist, but also wasn't a little bitch and slept in his coffin openly. He was willing to risk his shit to sling his game, and I respect that. Dracula? Solid Dracula. If you want to stab Strahd von Zarovich, you have to pray to God that your DM fell asleep at the wheel, or at the very least suffered severe head trauma shortly before your session started. There is no universe in which this bitch made Dracula with stats more fluffed than a waifu pillow could ever be outclassed by anything less than a god. His stats are bullshit, his writing is bullshit, and I hope he tears his ACL. The Count from Sesame Street has more compelling writing, and yet somehow the puppet Dracula has less fist up his ass than Strahd, who's got Hasbro's cold, clammy hands so deep in his guts that there's a tag for it on rule34.xxx. In short, Strahd is a bitch made Dracula. Thank you, and good night.
Alright, well we've heard from all of us. There's only one more person to hear from. Strahd, you have the floor.
Alright, I'm out.
Thank you. I know he's gone. Stop being funnier than us!
What he said, stop being funnier than us.
Fuck.
So, good job. Thank you for coming. We appreciate it. Give it up. This is wonderful, right? Very funny part. Very funny. I enjoyed it. I really did. So, I'm guessing wisdom's not great for all of you?
Mine's pretty good.
5 out of 7.
Well, we can just do a quick, we'll just hold person. Neat. Love it. So, thank you so much for coming. This has been great, right? Yeah. We had fun. Jokes were made at people's expenses. In my realm. My realm? Mm-hmm. We'll start with our MC. You did so good. You're very funny. This is great. Are you scared? He can't answer. I like that. He talks too much anyway. How's it feel to know the crowd's funnier than you? Psychic damage hurts, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. It does. You know what else is funny? Power word kid. Oops. Let's do another. Eva. You are very funny. Some might say, and I would agree with them, the funniest bard in Bard City. Yeah? You got a good laugh out of me. Nosferatu? Have you heard that motherfucker breathe? I laughed a bit, but I didn't breathe like him. Fuck. You know, you deserve something special. My love. Will you do the honors, please? We love it. It's fantastic. Eric. You said bitch made Dracula 3 times. We could tell you wrote it at 5 a.m. hungover. Holy shit. Too bad, my guy. Or don't do anything. My love, can you hold this, please?
That's 4.
Oh, it feels good. Are you scared too? Good. You might have lived just about as long as I have. Until now. Cloud kill.
I can't see anything behind me.
Who's to say, really? No, tell him how safe he is.
Onion, you're fine.
Tell him he's good.
You're a brave boy.
Tell him he's gonna live a long life. He's gonna be very happy. Oh, Onion. Sweet boy.
You're going to the great big patch in the sky.
You have fun in the onion patch.
A toast? You sad little illiterate boy. You did say some very nice things. No, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. You said wonderful things. And for that, I partake of you myself. Onion breath. The dwarf. Oh, you were good. You were really good. Yeah. I love it when they're still and scared. So, you love the earth. You love your little diggy holes. How do you feel about some water created right here? Right now. Drowning a whole person, that sucks, huh? Oh, I forgot about you. Hi. You used to work for me. You did a good job, honestly. I kind of miss it. Ordering you around, like my little beach maid boy that you are. You know what? You get to live. Release. You're gonna come work for me again, huh?
Am I gonna get paid?
We'll talk about it. Thank you all so very, very much for coming for the rest of me, Count Strahd. I appreciate you coming to my realm. I will watch you as you go. And I will allow you to leave with your lives, even though you all laughed. Except for those who maybe have been funnier than us. Maybe don't sleep tonight. Thank you, and goodbye. Hey, thanks, guys. This was a shit ton of fun. Thank you, MAGFest. Follow Bard City on all of our shit. Follow Horatius on all of his shit. You're already at MAGFest, so you kind of got Eric checked off. So, thanks. Come talk to us. Bye.